What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the second episode of Toes Talks with your host, Toes. Um, if I'm being completely honest, I genuinely did not think that the second episode would even happen. Obviously, like, as you know, in the first episode, like, I completely made it for jokes. Like, I was so bored, so I was like, you know what? Let's do it. And so I did it. And I was kind of surprised with the amount of people that like were genuinely rocking with it because like in my mind, the minute I uploaded it, I was like, yo, I'm about to get clowned. Like people are gonna be like, dog, why did you post that? Like all this stuff. Um, but like people like genuinely seemed to rock with it. So I was like, okay, well, I'm at home on a Friday. I don't have anything better to do, so why not do it again? I mean, if people still rock with it, then like I don't see a reason to like not do it. You know what I mean? So we're back. Take two. I hope you guys are doing good. You know, I feel like out of human decency, I should wish you guys the best, even though I'm not genuinely talking to you, because I feel like it just creates a connection, you know? Hope you guys are doing well. If you guys aren't doing well, skill issue. No, no, my bad. But if you guys aren't doing well, like if you really want to talk, hit me up. Definitely, like we can obviously talk about it. If not, then like just take it a day at a time, you know? Like shit happens in life, like you just got to go through the motions. Not every step in life is a hill, you know? You're going to go through some valleys, but like we got to get through them to get back up on the hills, you know what I'm saying? So, that's pretty much it for the intro. What are we talking about today? You guys will be so happy to hear that I actually thought about it before pressing record. So, today we're going to be talking about like different types of different art forms. So I'm gonna like run you guys through my favorite like artists at the moment, favorite artists of all time, favorite movies, directors, cause yeah, just that's why. Um but before we get that started, you already know we're bumping fudge, flawed mangoes. Um I explained this in the first video. They just go hard. Um yeah, but let's get into it. What do I want to talk about first? Um, as a writer, I feel like written work should come first. So I'm gonna talk about authors. Um, what authors inspired me? Probably none. Only because I don't read that much. Like I started reading again recently. Um, I got a couple books that like I gotta get to. Like what do I have here? Got The Darkest Minds, book one. Um, what else do I got? I got Serpent and Dove, book one. Do I have anything else here? I don't really want to grab it. It's at the bottom, but I got like The Handmaid's Tale, a bunch of other books that I really want to get into. So that's pretty much that. Um, Unpopular opinion. I actually fucked with Shakespeare. Like when we had to read that in high school, like I genuinely like mess with that because like take in, bro was literally spitting game in broken English, and these women were just like they were just falling for him. Like, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt no longer be Capulet, I shall no longer be Montague? Like, what? Like, what? This guy just said, yo, shorty, drop your family and just be my girl. You know how that's Riz. That is charisma to the max, bro. Like, that shit is not easy to do. Um, and like, besides like Shakespeare just straight up rizzing the female characters in his books. Um, I thought like a lot of the storytelling was pretty fire. Like if you look at The Tempest, The Tempest is a pretty good one. That one I didn't entirely understand because I know there was a lot of political background around it, especially because like it was like a conflict of like power. Like one of the people wanted power, and then like there was a princess, and then all this other stuff. I think the one thing that I don't really mess with when it comes to Shakespeare as a person of color is racism, because fuck racism. Um, but more so like when it comes to, like we see the example in The Merchant of Venice with I don't remember his name, but he was the one that gave I think Antonio the bond, um like how they were just racist to him because he just was like different. I don't really mess with that, but like I was concerned. I was like, wait, how are you not messing with the homeboy because he's different, but you rocking with the homeboy's daughter because she bad as fuck? Make that make sense, bro. Like I feel like we gonna be if we're gonna be racist, we got to be like consistently racist. Don't be like, oh, he's an old nigga, and he's an L man's because of it. But his daughter, on the other hand, is bad as fuck, so it's okay. Like, dog, let's be fair here. Um, and then we also see the example in The Tempest with I think it was a monster. Obviously, like that one's a bit more like to the imagination, but not by much because like he's still being judged for his appearance, so it is some form of like um discrimination against him because he doesn't look like everyone else, which is obviously like what racism is, and it's like the discrimination of a group or individual based on a list of factors, right? So you got like actually racism is based on like race or like visual like changes in ethnicity. So obviously like the Merchant of Venice example and then the Tempest example both like are obvious, you know what I mean? Um Now but Shakespeare was Rizzy, and even like more than Shakespeare, like just the some of the books we read in high school, like I genuinely messed with. Like I can't remember the one I'm thinking about, but then we also read Brave New World by I think it's Aldous Huxley. Um, I hated reading that book. I will not lie to you. I did not read the book. I spark notes everything. Um, and it wasn't even that it was a bad book. It was just like the words in the book were just too big for me. Like I just didn't understand what was going on, so I just didn't read it. But then like I got to the end of the book, I found out how the book ended. I was like, damn. Even though like I was not like emotionally invested in the character because I didn't read the rest of the book, I just found out what happened. I was like, that sucks. But then I found out because my English teacher at the time told me like, yo, there's a show on it, and I was like, say less. So I watched the show. I didn't finish the show, but I watched some of the show. Hella orgies, but it's a good show. Like definitely not for kids. But if you can just like get past all the orgies, it's like this shit interesting as fuck. Um, there was another one. Uh, I can't remember. Let me see if I can pull it up. But like, um, there was a movie based on it, and it had Leonardo DiCaprio in it, and I think Toby Maguire. Um. I don't remember what it's called. Um, but that's besides the point. Reading is cool, man. And if you're one of those people that's like, why would I read, bro? Like, dog, why would I read? Like, why wouldn't you read? Like, you don't gotta read anything crazy. Like, I got a perfect example right here. You can pick up something as small as the Bone series. It's like what? 132 pages. But a page looks like this. At that point, you're just doing yourself dirty by not reading. And you're probably like, dude, what do I even gain from reading books like the Bone series? And I'm like, my answer to that is probably not much. But is it more productive than sitting on your phone in your bedroom for like 8 hours at a time doing nothing? I'm not gonna say it is, but I'm also gonna tell you it is. You know, like I don't know. Obviously, like it's up to you if you want to do that. Um, but I'm a judge. Uh, anyways, I was never a horror movie person growing up. Horror movie person. Yeah, I was never a horror movie person growing up. But actually, no. What am I saying? I'm still not a horror movie person. But I love movies. What are my top five movies of all time? Pull out your notes, cause you're gonna want to take these ones down. I'm totally capping. Um, what are my top five movies of all time? In no particular order, Coraline's up there, 1000%. I love stop motion. Um, so Coraline, in my opinion, it I wouldn't say it's peak stop motion because I know there's like some other like really good stop motion movies like visually. Like if you look at Isle of Dogs by Wes Anderson or there was another one. Uh, I don't remember the name, but there's some like really good. There's some really good stop motion movies, but for me personally, like I remember growing up watching Coraline, and I was like, "Yo, this movie's so scary." Especially like when the mom came out with the button eyes. Like, yeah, that was definitely a terrifying experience. But like growing up and like rewatching it now, I'm like, dude, I fucking love this movie. Like, I want a girlfriend so me and her can like go as Coraline and Wybie for Halloween. No, but that movie is just like I don't like rewatching movies once I've seen it once, but for Coraline, I'd like love to rewatch that movie. What else? Oh, Fantastic Mr. Fox by Wes Anderson. Another great stop motion movie. Is it stop motion or it's not claymation? Stop motion. I'm pretty sure it's stop motion. I'll have to check that. But another great movie. Like I've told people like, oh yeah, I freaking love that movie, and then they're like, dude, that movie's so weird, and I'm like, bro, just say you're not used to different styles of animation. Like, don't get me wrong, the animation style for like that movie is not normal by any means. Like, you see that like in parts of the movie, like you'll see characters just like randomly flinch, and you'll be like, dog, what is happening? But like I don't know. I really enjoy it. It's one of my comfort movies for sure. Like again, like another movie I'd like rewatch and like have no problem doing it. And I feel like maybe it's an animation thing cuz if I were to like think about it, I feel like I would see myself watching more movies that are animated again as opposed to watching like live action movies for a second time. Like if you gave me like hmm, Endgame, like Avengers Endgame, and you asked me like, "Yo, would you rewatch that?" I'd probably be like, "Nah, like it's a great movie. Don't get me wrong, it's a very good movie." But like, would I go out of my way and rewatch it? Probably not. As opposed to something like Corpse Bride, great movie. I'm gonna rewatch it. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Both good movies, both equally as enjoyable, arguably. But I'm gonna rewatch Corpse Bride. But maybe that's a personal bias when it comes to stop motion for me. Um, Another movie that I really fuck with, Pulp Fiction. Great movie. I don't want to hear any disrespect on Pulp Fiction. Absolute peak movie. Um, the acting was there. The plot was fucked up, but it was great because it's Quentin Tarantino and it's supposed to be fucked up. Um, Yeah, I remember watching the movie for the first time because my cousins put me on. Shout out Drew Mandia and Bella. I love you guys. Hope I see you guys soon. But like, nah, I think it was on my watch list, so I watched it and I was like, what is going on? Because like obviously like the way Quentin Tarantino does things, it's just like the order of the film is so like random, but like it makes sense at the end. And so like I don't think I'd ever watched the Quentin Tarantino movie like knowingly before. So I was just like not expecting the order of events to happen. But it was a great movie. Like I know I said that like um I'm more likely to watch an animated movie for a second time as opposed to like a live action movie. Which is true, but I feel like for my top 5 movies, like regardless of animated or live action, I would think about rewatching them a second time. And that's why Pulp Fiction's obviously up there. Um what's another one? Hmm. I know those three are always my locks, but then for 4 and 5, it's always shifting. Um, this might be recency bias, but probably Asteroid City by Wes Anderson. I don't know how to explain the movie because I watched it with my friend Nolan. Shout out Nolan. I watched it with him in the theaters. Um, because we both love Wes Anderson, and I remember for the next couple of days, whenever I told people like, "Yo, I went to go watch Asteroid City," they'd be like, "Oh shoot, like, what was it about? Like, how was it?" And I couldn't give them an answer because I was like, it existed. It was a film that I watched in real life, and I see even now I can't describe the movie, but I know it was a movie I watched, and it was a good movie, but I can't tell you why, if that makes any sense. Like, it's one of those weird ones because it's like bro, just say you don't know how to explain things. And it's like, I like to think that I know how to explain things, but I can't explain this. So maybe a recency bias thing, but I'm gonna have to put um, Asteroid City in that top 5, and then my last spot, like this is kind of a disclaimer, but my first three are locks: Coraline, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and Pulp Fiction. 4 and 5 are always interchangeable, but I think with my fifth spot, like non-ordered, probably probably Get Out. By I think it was Jordan Peele. Yeah, I think it was, yeah, good movie. Scarred me as a African American kid. Um, Definitely put me off talking to white girls for a little bit because I was just like, ah, I don't want that to happen to me. But obviously, like, we're past that now. Good movie. It's such a weird uh plot because it's just like, how do you even think about something like that? But yeah, no, it was a. I really like that movie. Probably, I would definitely think about rewatching it. But yeah, those are my top five movies of all time. If you disagree, you're wrong. If you agree slightly, I'll hear you out, but I'll also think you're wrong. Unless you can like actually like convince me, which I'm not saying is possible. Actually, no, I'm completely saying it's possible. What am I saying? Yeah. Uh, wow. I really just like I really did that. But yeah, this is I feel like we'll end the podcast off with the weekly. weekly breakdown. So, Tozy, how was your week? I'm so glad you asked. My week was. It was okay. It was. I'd say probably like a six and a. No. 7.5 out of 10. So, not bad. What did I do on Monday? I went to class, did my little thing, and then we had our volleyball intramural game. We won. Too close for my liking, I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to the team who played really good. I just really didn't want to lose to them for a third time. Um, but yeah, we won in 3 sets. We only lost by 4 in the first set. It was like 25-21. I didn't play, but it was not something that was great to watch on my team's point of view. Um, got my boy Liam. Yo, shout out Liam. Uh, told him to get on the court. I got on the court. We did our thing. Won like 25-12. So we high key slapped them second set. And then third set was a battle. And then we caught the dub, 15-11. So I'm really happy about that. It's my first time making volleyball intramurals finals. So we're gonna see how that goes on Monday. I'll definitely. You guys will probably get the update like next week on the podcast if people end up rocking with this podcast, because like a lot of what I'm basing like making the videos off of is if people like genuinely rock with them, and if they don't, like I feel like I'm just like forcing something that like nobody wants to see, because then at that point it's like, why are you doing that? um but yeah, tuesday Tuesday was kind of just a filler day. Like if I'm thinking about anything that happened, I'm not remembering it. Wednesday I stayed at home because I just did not want to go to school. Thursday was yesterday. I had practice. Practice was horrible. Um, my friends had some brown pub night. It looked pretty good, so I hope they had fun with that. And then today's Friday. Um, yeah, that is pretty much my week in a nutshell. Uh, and I feel like I'm gonna wrap this up because I feel okay with what I just did. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed or like didn't hate watching. Yeah, so this has been the second episode of Toast Talks. Hopefully you guys rock with it. If not, then shit happens. And maybe I'll see you guys next week. Who knows? Peace out.